Welcome to the La Tech Sports Report. Today we're going to preview the matchup between the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs and the Texas Longhorns. The game will kick off Saturday, August 31st at 7 p.m. in Austin, Texas, in the 9th largest stadium in the world, seating over 100,000 people. Tickets are available from resellers and through the University of Texas. The game will air on the Longhorn Network, which is available on most cable systems and streaming on DirecTV Now and PS View, which have free trials available. Louisiana Tech finished last season 8-5, going 5-3 in conference play and finishing tied for second in the CUSA West Division. The Bulldogs returned 6 starters on offense and 5 starters on defense. The media has picked Tech to finish third in the West behind UNT and Southern Miss. The Bulldogs started 6-2 last season but lost 3 of their last 4 regular season games before bouncing back to dominate Hawaii for their 5th consecutive bowl win. This season, the schedule features Texas and 2 big conference home games against rivals Southern Miss and North Texas in the second half of the season. 2 open dates are spread out this year as Tech hopes to avoid wearing down late in the season. Louisiana Tech returns junior wide receiver Adrian Hardy, who led Conference USA in receptions and receiving yards last season, but somehow was only named second team All-Conference. Senior quarterback Jamar Smith also returns after finishing third in Conference USA in passing last season. Jamar currently sits at 6th in the career passing yards at Louisiana Tech and is poised to finish his career in 3rd place, only behind Tech legends Luke McCown and Tim Rattay. On defense, senior Colin Scott returns to anchor the linebackers after leading the team in tackles last season. And after starting every game since he stepped foot on campus as a true freshman, junior cornerback Amik Robertson is back to shut down his side of the field again after earning first-team All-Conference honors and leading the team in interceptions and pass breakups last season. Now let's take a look at the University of Texas. Texas had a bounce-back year, finishing 10-4 and going 7-2 in conference. The Longhorns dropped the season opener to Maryland but won 9 of their next 11 games before falling to Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship. Texas finished the season with an upset of number 5, Georgia, in the Sugar Bowl. Texas had a record of 23-27 over the 4 seasons leading up to last year, but Tom Herman has returned Texas to the level of winning that Longhorn fans are used to. Texas loses 6 starters on offense and 8 starters on defense from last year's squad. Of note is last year's leading receiver, Little Jordan Humphrey, who left early for the NFL Draft. The Longhorns also lose 3 first-team All-Conference selections from last year: fullback Andrew Beck, defensive lineman Charles Omenihu, and safety Chris Boyd. Texas does return some key players from last year's squad, namely quarterback Sam Ehlinger, who threw for 25 touchdowns and ran for another 16, while throwing only 5 interceptions on the year. 6'6" wide receiver Colin Johnson is the Longhorns' leading returning receiver and will be a matchup nightmare against most cornerbacks due to his size. Returning on defense for the Longhorns, safety Caden Stearns was a first-team All-Conference selection as a freshman and led the team with 4 interceptions, and senior Brandon Jones is Texas's leading returning tackler from last season from his free safety position. Texas finished 34th in the country last season in passing yards per game, while Tech was ranked 44th. Texas was 90th in rushing yards per game, while Tech was ranked 109th. On the defensive side of the ball, Louisiana Tech was 28th best in the country in passing yards allowed, while Texas was 110th. Texas finished 28th in rushing yards allowed, and Tech was ranked 50th. Here is a fun fact. Louisiana Tech and Texas have each had 8 players drafted over the last 4 years. Vegas has Texas as a 20.5-point favorite, and ESPN's matchup predictor gives Texas a 90.7% chance at victory. On the other hand, if you haven't heard, Terry Bradshaw doesn't think Sam Ehlinger is that great a quarterback, and the Longhorns are only 2-1 in bowls over last 5 seasons, while Tech is 5-0. All kidding aside, Tech proved last year against LSU they can compete with anyone, even in the toughest environments, where they trailed by only 3 points halfway through the 4th before LSU pulled away. Will the Bulldogs be on top of their game and have a shot to win it late, or will Texas control the game like the prognosticators expect? Well, thanks for watching, and check us out next week for a recap of this game and a preview of the home opener versus Grambling. Thanks for watching the La Tech Sports Report.